It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. For it, we're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Bach, the compliance evangelist.
We're going to have a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll be right back. What is the best single author handbook for a best practices compliance program? I would humbly submit to you that it is the Compliance Handbook, 5th edition, by myself, Tom Fox. It's published by LexisNexis, and it's designed to give you information on how to improve your compliance program literally across an entire year. Each entry has 3 key takeaways of things you can do at little or no cost for your compliance program. I'm going to link to it in the show notes, so check out the Compliance Handbook, 5th edition. Day 7, Nicole Argentieri on the DOJ Clawback Program. Argentieri believes that early indications suggest the innovations incorporated into the DOJ Clawback Program are indeed changing corporate behavior. One notable example came from a company under an agreement with the criminal division that required adherence to compliance standards and reporting of misconduct as a part of its annual performance reviews. Coupled with a company-wide messaging campaign, these efforts led to an increase in the reporting potential of compliance issues, a clear sign that employees are responding to these financial incentives. The DOJ program is built on 2 foundational pillars. The first involves requiring that every corporate compliance resolution overseen by the criminal division includes criteria related to compliance in its compensation and bonus system. This mandates companies to establish clear metrics around these systems. This is not a formality, it's a strategic alignment in how companies approach compensation. By linking financial incentives to ethical behavior, companies are setting a precedent for others in this industry. The second part of the Clawbacks program is a tangible incentive for corporations to hold individuals accountable. This is the clawbacks and holdbacks that we have seen in multiple enforcement actions, and Argentieri gave examples where companies implemented procedures to freeze future bonuses for those suspected of misconduct and took active steps to recoup those monies. This is something that the DOJ is very high on, and it's something that you need to consider for your compliance program going forward. In addition to this, you get dollar for dollar credit for these efforts. So you as an organization receive significant financial incentives. For compliance professionals, the lessons from the DOJ Clawback Program are clear and compelling. First, the integration of compliance into the compensation structure is a powerful tool for driving ethical behavior and deterring misconduct. Second, the importance of financial accountability cannot be overstated. The DOJ's willingness to reduce fines for companies that recoup compensation from culpable employees highlights the DOJ's commitment to holding individuals accountable. Finally, continuous evaluation, monitoring, and improvement is the key. The DOJ is urging companies to regularly assess the effectiveness of their compliance-linked compensation systems, seeking feedback and making necessary adjustments. This is an iterative process, and it once again demonstrates that your compliance program is a living, breathing organism and not simply a check-the-box exercise. As we move towards the first full year of the DOJ pilot program, the successes in promoting compliance through compensation-linked incentives and financial accountability are setting the stage for a new era in corporate governance. The evidence suggests that this approach is certainly taking hold, and I believe that the DOJ will continue to push for this as corporations move forward in compliance. This is obviously a pivotal moment. The integration of compliance into compensation and the emphasis on financial accountability represent significant advancements for compliance professionals and indeed give greater power to compliance functions to work with other corporate functions such as HR in the never-ending struggle to fight bribery and corruption. So to summarize, the DOJ not only has indicated specifically their desire to have more compensation incentives around doing business ethically and in compliance, but through their language of consequence management, want companies to make it clear to employees that they will be sanctioned if they engage in unethical behavior, bribery, corruption, or other illegal activities. Further, the DOJ has really put its money where its mouth is by having the financial incentives to reduce your overall fine and penalty for both holdbacks and even attempts at clawbacks, so that even if for whatever reason you're legally prevented from clawing back some form of compensation to employees, then you'll have the opportunity to work with the Department of Justice to reduce your overall fine and penalty. And that is a significant incentive put in place by the Department of Justice. This is something that you need to work very closely with HR or other groups in your organization and take advantage of it. Join us tomorrow where we consider operationalizing compliance through your payroll function. I know you'll enjoy tomorrow's episode. I hope you will join me for the rest of 31 days to a more effective compliance program where we take a deep dive into your overall compliance program. For listening to this episode of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is a part of the Compliance Podcast Network. Listening to this episode of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program. 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program is a part of the Compliance Podcast Network. If you'd like more information on any of the topics of this month's series, 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program, check out the Compliance Handbook 5th edition, available from LexisNexis. You can check it out at lexisnexis.com/Fox. I know you will find it useful and enjoy it. Thanks so much for listening.